Welcome to another version of Dudes After Dark. It's your host, Tony Lane, with Garage Beer. But you know what? We're all about layers of entertainment here on the Dude After Dark. Like I said, beer, barbecue, beards, bourbon, all the things. But don't worry, we got more layers than that. Did I mention we also do giveaways? Every month, all kinds of cool stuff. Sometimes even some Garage Beer merch. So tune in, enjoy the show. We love to have each and every one of you a part of us. Let's get after it, shall we? Dudes After Dark with Garage Beer. Cheers. Let's go. Let's go. It's Friday. We survived another week. And we've been really crazy busy, so we all get to actually hang out here like legit tonight. So this is gonna be a good one. And that guy, a good buddy of mine, our host, our guest tonight of honor, Big Ed, goes way back too. Actually, no Big Ed, longer than I've known John Z and Damon. Actually, believe it or not, OG. So real excited for this one here tonight, guys. And we're real excited to have all you here with us. First off and foremost, that we're just really blessed to just keep this thing going. I hope everybody got to watch Killer Eating with Big K last night. If not, go back and watch it. It was just around an hour show, and he made some in the whole cooking process, start to finish, some bacon, cheddar, ranch fries, everything done on the flat top. It was absolutely awesome. Go check that out. As always, if you can find Garage Beer, get it. If not, keep hounding them. The more people from every state that gets a hold of them, they're getting into as many areas as possible. Let them know that you want to be next. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you because it is spreading like wildfire. Kelsey brothers has been seen. Travis was drinking at Garage Bear's graduation. Just saying. So it's coming, folks. It's coming. You know what else is coming? More than my dumb mouth and more than my dumb face. Because as there's two compadres here with me about every Friday. Nombre, we miss you. I hope to see you back here soon. But out of the California, well, we got a West Coast invasion tonight. You'll find out why later. But out of the Turlock, the Californian that's been born again, the poncho wearing, artichoke grilling, year round pepper growing, filet mignon, goose marinating, matanza slinging, random cuts of pork grilling because he just makes up whatever because he cuts his own pig on matanza. Cheers, Damon. I was just looking for an excuse to take a drink. Matanza. Mm, Damon, I didn't see you take that second drink. Come on now. We're partying tonight. Johnsy.
What's up, buddy?
What up, dude?
I'm bringing it out to the east, bro. I'm going to show you what the M word's all about. You're going to love it.
Oh, if you think I'm scared to do a Matanza,
Oh, that wasn't a threat, bro. That wasn't a threat. That wasn't a threat.
problem is I'm drinking garage beer and Damon's sipping on bourbon. So I like
That's
this
all
where this
right.
game. I like where this game's heading tonight. But Johnsy, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Having a good? Did you enjoy your day off today?
Yeah, I just relaxed, cook a few things.
Got to relax, dude. I mean, you're
One
going
one
hard.
day
You're
off
going
is
hard in the paint right now at the day job.
right. One day off is like relax and prepare enough things that I can come home and just like make one little side and have a whole dinner and be done with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, at least you got a loving, better half at home that's taking care of
bingo.
you. That's a fact, Jack. Shout out, Kimmy. You need look, I have this front pocket to put my bonus points in. That's cool.
Yeah, put a couple in there already.
Dink, dink.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. We could have done without the dink dinks. I'll drink.
Coming up next. You see it?
Yeah. I'll just drink my own damn self on that one. I won't bring Damon into my world of stupidity. But
Speaking of Damon.
speaking of Damon, he is the South Kakalaki sensational samurai of segues and segments. Our miner of content gold and Carolina gold. The three-time people's champion. Beans going chili. He's done it. He's won the belts. They may be trying to sabotage him to keep him down, but this man still prevails. Still makes it
Hmm.
happen. Guy makes the best damn sauce I've had on the east of the Mississippi.
That's pretty much, yeah.
It needs to happen. We're gonna talk him into it. Peer pressure's a bitch.
It
Damon.
is.
No. What's up, guys? What's up,
Not
everybody?
much. How are you
Somebody.
doing? How you doing? Man, I'm
Hey,
living
man.
my best life, man. Like today was like a roller coaster. It was like right
Oof.
off the rip. Thought I was just changing out a mower belt. Nope. Way more complicated than that.
Oh, yeah, no.
But we got through it. Just needed a couple things, needed a little grease, and had to take up to the John Deere shop, which is conveniently up the street. Go figure, in my neck of the woods would be a John Deere shop right there.
Right.
But just saying. No, you just took a little air impact wrench to it and filled it up with grease, and the spindle was no longer locked up, and I didn't have to pay $125 an hour for service at a
There
John
you
Deere.
go. Hey, I done learned, man. I learned a long time ago. If you take a little small project, it's going to be a huge one before it's over with.
Yeah, especially as much.
Bingo, dude. That's why I don't work
Especially if
on
it's like,
cars.
especially if you go into it and be like, oh, this is going to be so easy to do. No worries. I'll be done in and out 10 minutes.
Oh,
Wah, wah, wah.
yeah, we
4
jeopardized
hours later.
ourselves. My dad is
Dude.
like, "Hey, we need to get this done. I'll come down and help you this morning before we go out, mushroom hunting with the kids."
Right.
And I was like, "Well, Alyssa's got her thing," and in my head, I was like, "Plenty of time." I was like, "Yeah, we can squeeze that in." Stupid, so stupid. If Alyssa, you're watching, I'm sorry.
Like if there's something to be done on a vehicle or something like that, I'll watch tons of YouTube University, and if it looks easy, and I mean, like, there's some things that I know I can do, obviously,
Mhm.
but like things I've never been exposed to, I'm like, oh, that looks pretty easy. But there's like one little part or whatever, I won't even attempt it till the weekend because I need my vehicles every day. Like,
True.
there's those times where it's like, how does this go back in there? How does it go back in there? I got it out. How does it go back in? Did I change the window motor thing, one assembly, all that inside of a door one time? Holy frick, bro. I've never cussed so much in my life.
Yeah,
It's not that hard. The second one was really easy.
well, and here's the other problem. I have done little maintenance on my lawnmower in its first 10, 12 years of life, and
Uh,
as it was falling apart, shout out dad, just kept reminding me. He thought that it was still his necessary requirement to remind me of how critical, as I'm like, just hope you take care of this thing better. I'm like, I'm not little Johnny anymore. Then he just looked at me and I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, you're right. I need to take better care. The golden rule, thou shalt never beat the old man. I'm very much looking forward to that rule with my son. I'm ready to win. I'm ready to win. But Damon, you have a good week, man. I know
Yeah,
a little
man.
different world in your life, man.
Sure,
Everything
man.
going smooth.
Yeah, man. Getting back to the outdoor life again.
whoa,
So,
That
whoa.
grass is always greener, brother.
hey, man. It's great, man. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. What were you saying, Johnsy?
No, I was
I thought you
like,
were
oh,
saying.
the outdoors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really
Man.
hoping this whole TDN outdoors thing pans out because I wouldn't be terribly pissed to go out and make fishing videos and hunting videos
There you
regularly.
go. It'll happen,
Right.
man.
As soon as I'm
Yeah,
off
manifest.
this work schedule and
Manifest.
now that the weather's good, we had wild. I felt like we were in half in the Midwest because like it would like look like it was perking up, like, oh sweet, it's gonna be a sunny day. And then you're like, all right, cool, it's getting springtime again. Then the next day, super windy. Oh, here comes the rain. Oh my gosh, what the freak's going on?
Jeez.
Serious question. Speaking of rain, because I can't trust anything I see with AI, and I'm not looking to get into a deep dive of it. I'm just looking for a true yes or no answer.
He's talking to you, Jonesy.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Is there like over in like the the Arab Emirates or whatever like that, is there, like, massive flooding over in, like, Abu Dhabi and stuff like that right now, like, over in those deserts? I saw something that looked like AI as hell, but it looked kinda like it coulda been real.
I have no idea
Leave
I
about
that
haven't
one
heard.
for the Hey,
I haven't
comment
heard of
section.
that.
You wanna
Yeah.
be involved? We need you on here. Without the conspiracy theories, because 'cause I'm not interested. I just wanna know if it's true or
Oh,
false.
look.
I mean, it's all over Goggle right here,
Okay,
so, I mean
okay,
It looks
alright,
like
okay. It's not AI.
Dubai.
I mean, dude, you have
Dubai's.
and
AI.
Uh,
You
so
have to question everything.
yeah, it
if
says
you're
it's
not
it's got
questioning everything, you are not doing well in life. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
not doing it.
question everything,
Hey,
folks.
shout out to us happily
Everything.
married and not out in this crazy world trying to date in the AI world, man. Could you imagine? I had to deal with, like, bad selfie angles. That was like, "Oh, that chick did not look like makeup," you know? But this
Yeah,
I mean
like the
they're
duck
doing
face. We
some
went through
wild
the duck
stuff.
face.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
man,
that
y'all
hey,
have
by the
that?
way, that was a no-go for me. I was like, "Nope, not doing
The
it."
Jesus.
duck face?
Yeah, good. That was the
100. Get that
it
shit
was the
out
biggest
of
turn
here,
off in
dude.
dating I've had.
Oh,
Man,
oh
we
yeah.
was having to
Nah.
Selfie
send
face. I called it
Polaroids.
selfie
So
face, yes. What's that, David?
we was having to send Polaroids through the mail. I mean, I don't know what group y'all grew up in, but we was having to use mail
Get the
and
freak
Polaroid
out of
pictures.
Now,
here.
I will say I was AOL Instant Messenger era. I was AOL Instant Messenger era.
Oh,
Well, see, yeah, and the
dude,
problem
nah,
was,
screw
man,
that,
where
dude.
I lived, we didn't even have internet. So I mean, it was like through the phone line. So it was like
That's awesome.
it'd take
See, that was my
45 minutes for
elementary,
it to
but
boot
yeah.
in.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly, dude. See, and
Yeah.
AOL chats, dude.
Ooh,
It was like it was good for a little bit. Like it started out right, and then just became like Reddit world where like you could stumble into chats as a young little teenager and be like,
I'm not supposed to be here.
yeah.
and then come out of it. People didn't come out of AOL the same. They didn't come out the same
You
Nope.
went in a boy
afterwards.
and come out a man.
I mean,
Hey, you could have figured out anything you wanted in them
it
Yeah.
chat
was
groups,
dude.
man.
Like it was like, oh yeah, Google all the information. Like, bro, should have been in them AOL chats. Should
Society
have been in
ruined
them AOL.
AOL. Yeah, society
Uh,
ruined AOL group chats, like, chat communities so quick, man.
oh,
Like, it was such a great idea. It really, really was.
absolutely.
It was
Like we
such a
have
great
all
idea.
this social media kind of stuff. That's like the
Oh,
purpose
man,
of it
like,
all.
people just like, "Oh, people are just gonna people. It'll be good." Nope,
Right. Nope.
nope.
And then those people started to people on there, and it was
And you know what's funny? I would do
wild.
anything to go back to that people compared to what we're working with now. This is where we're
All
at.
right.
Alright. Hey,
Here we
happy
are.
times. Hey, let's talk
Right.
happy. Happy times means Big
Oh,
Ed.
I mean, yeah, I
I mean,
zoned
he
out.
pretty
I
much
zoned out
lives
for a minute.
happy
I'm sorry.
times.
Yeah, and hopefully everybody did at home too. All 5 of you. By the way, I need more likes right now. Do it. Ready, set, go. Like it. Nailed it. Alright. So, I'm really excited about, our guest tonight. Way
Yeah.
too
Right.
long overdue, honestly. This probably should have happened. But the thing is, me and this guy have done more lives together. I can't say Johnsy and Damon now because it's been we've done quite a few at this point. But
Just one or two.
this guy was on TikTok Tuesdays or whatever. Big Ed Fishing was the man. A tournament angler who started up with BAM Bass Angler Magazine. Bam,
Bam.
bam, an
I'm gonna say
onomatopoeia.
easy.
Hooks that.
Tur-
Bam.
I'm gonna say
Turn a
easy.
magazine, turn it into an onomatopoeia. For all that you need to look that up, I'll fill you in. It is a word that describes a noise. You're welcome.
Okay.
Back to Tony.
The more you know.
A man that is a walking onomatopoeia. Like, wow. No, boom, crash, pow.
Bam.
Because when people see this sexy bod walking down, they snap their necks and walk on the stop signs. The
Mm-mm.
host and the MC and the entertainer, if you don't know about him, you're going to want to know about him because he's going to be a lot more than what they are now. of Bass Angler Magazine. His family calls him James. We call him Big Ed. What up, dude?
Unmute.
And
He's
Unmute.
muted. He's
Nope.
muted. He's muted. Oh, we've ruined his intro. He was bamming all over the place.
Yeah.
You got to unmute yourself.
You're unmuted. Ed, you muted yourself.
No.
Yeah.
Let's
You
do it
did.
again. Let's do it again.
Working? All right.
Let's do it again. Do it again.
All right,
Do it
hang
again.
on,
Do it
hang
again.
on. We're gonna get. All right. The host of Bass Angler Magazine's MC Tournament Trail, where they got all the sponsors. It's blowing up. It is bam. It's blam. It's blang blang blinkety blam. The man on the mic, Big Ed.
All right, because this time, guys, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's BAM! Now that's how we're supposed to come on. I want you up there making it right. It's BAM! And that's how it needs to be.
Kids are
Love
sleeping. I can't
Love
go full
it.
bam, so I'm gonna go 75%.
Yeah, thanks
We got
for
a house
having me
of
on here,
sleeping-
man.
we
I
got a
really
house of
appreciate it.
sleeping
We
doctor.
have been. This has been needed for a while. You know, we've been talking about doing this for a while, and glad to see these two guys right here and watching these shows. And this is awesome, man. So thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you coming, man.
Absolutely a pleasure, man.
I just thought you got so popular that I was kind of afraid just to ask. I just thought you'd big time me, man. That's all. I'm sorry. It's on me. I assumed wrong. It's on me.
Wow.
You know,
Literally made an
Tony,
ass out of you and me with him and you. The word assume. You literally did that right there.
But I apologize and I manned up to it. And more people need to own up to their mistakes in 2024.
Can't disagree with that.
The problem is that he knows better, and if he thinks that I wouldn't call him back, all he's got to do, pick up that phone, tell Alyssa to pick it up, have her call me because he knows I'll answer that phone.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, she goes by Cinnamon to him.
She goes by Cinnamon in this household. It's only Cinnamon.
It's only Cinnamon. You gotta be a triple OG to know that one. Only him and Zach Lauer know the Cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. Yeah, you and Zach Lauer are the two that know her as Cinnamon. What a combo. The king of glamping and the king of fishing kind of go hand in hand. So, Big Ed, man, tell us about the Bass Angler Magazine. The fishing tour. You have the pod there. You've been doing it for a couple of years. It's really growing. I'm really excited to further your reach here tonight with our crowd as well, because I think it's really cool. And I think you guys are going through all the motions, all the things that all the big boys are doing. Just need some new eyeballs to find out about you. So talk about it, man.
Oh, 100%. You know, I am glad that, I'm on this show, spreading the reach. The BAM pod we've been doing for 2 years, and it has grown. We've gone a long ways. It's just a podcast that, the Bass Angler magazine started. They called me up, said, hey, can you be the host of this thing? I said, absolutely. Let me jump on here. I have interviewed some of the top guys in the nation. OG guys. I've gotten the legends of the sport. I've got the young kids coming up right now. They're coming on the pod. And, all these guys are happy to be here. They want to be on there. I'm giving them their chance to say who they are. And that's what the BAM pod is really about. Everyone that comes on, they talk about the new tournament trail that's coming out in the West, and that's the BAM Trail. Bass Angler Magazine, it's the BAM Trail.
In the West.
Yeah, it's the West, and that's the whole thing. I'm getting to the West, and that's what we're doing is the most, is that there's been Bassmaster out there, there's been MLF that's out there, but out here in the West, no, we haven't had that love. We had one circuit that came out here, and they did a very positive job, and it just it got sloppy and they got eaten up. And we have an owner in Mark Lassane that is here.
Shout out, Mark.
He loves this sport. We love this sport, and my heart is in it, and I want this tournament out here, and I want guys to understand that what we're pushing for is to have the most elite circuit on the West Coast. And, I mean, you say that, and it may not be the hardest thing to do since there's not a whole lot of really elite ones.
Yeah.
This is what it is, and that's what we're pushing for.
Yeah,
well, there's nothing wrong with being the elite, but also, setting – that doesn't mean you have to just barely get into first. I think what you're trying to say is you're not only trying to be elite, you're trying to set the bar where it's hard to catch you. Someone's gonna have to really pull some serious crap out of their you know what to be a bam quality.
Oh, absolutely. That's the whole point. That we've had some great sponsors come on with Bass Boat Technology. We've had Tackle Warehouse, who's known worldwide. We've had people that have come on that have just like, you know what, we're going to be behind this. And all we need now is we need the anglers to step up and go, you know what, this isn't the other tour. This is the West. These are the guys that are putting it forward. They're putting their best foot in here. I mean, we've had everybody come on with this thing. Storage Quest, Store Quest. There's just so many people behind us. And that's probably one of the biggest things. And they came out after I was doing the podcast and they're like, you know what? We need an MC with some, a little edge to them. And I guess that's what they wanted. Little energy, little effort, little, I don't know, something, somebody that's going to come on and say, bam, let's do this thing, So I've done that. And that's what we're really trying to do right now. And I hope if you guys tune in and watch it, it's always live on YouTube when we have tournaments. Check us out. We're out there. I'm out there trying to put on the best show I can. Tony, you know who I am. I do this thing. I bring some energy.
He is fan.
Yeah, I've been following for a little bit too now. So
good.
Yeah.
California, we need everybody in California needs to turn that dial on when it's on and start watching. And we need to put it on a big TV channel. I get that part, but we'll get there.
Yeah, it's there.
It's
coming, folks. I guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
So, is bass fishing still king in California? Because I went to. Okay, I'll ask that question first, and then I'll follow it up with what I discovered recently. So, Ed, is it bass fishing still king in Cali?
Bass fishing is still king in Cali when you're talking about tournament fishing. I feel like ocean fishing in California probably doesn't get the love that it deserves. It is massive out here. People don't really get how massive it is. But there's other things. I mean, the amount of trout plating that goes on, the amount of, catfish that are out here, the fishing out here in general. But if you're talking about a tournament, you're talking about going out, catching fish, doing it on a regular basis, bass fishing's king.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because
I know more bass fishers than anything else growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, and bass fishing was king in Ohio growing up. Walleye up around Cleveland, Lake Erie. That was obviously. But even up there, people went smallmouth fishing because you could catch 7-pound smallies up in Lake Erie off Ohio shore. But I went to the Ohio Fishing Expo a few months back, and it was crappie everything. Its crappie is so huge, like $100,000 tournaments in Ohio for crappie. And they're banning sonar images, down image front sonar. And Ed, I don't know if you noticed, but you might muted yourself again just in case you didn't see that.
That's me.
Oh, okay. But sorry about that. But no, crappie fishing was just absolutely massive. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, it's not as big here. Don't get me wrong, there is good crappie fishing in California. Yeah. There's great water. I mean, the amount of people that go out to Clear Lake, the size that come out of Clear Lake when it comes to crappie, massive. The California Delta has them. Lakes locally I fish. They all have crappie.
I mean, when you say are you talking 15 inches?
It's not like the South. Yeah. It's not as big as the South. When you go to the South, you're talking crappie, big crappie. I mean, it's still bass is still. Crappie's great and all that. The tours and all that, I get it, but it's still probably not as big as bass by any stretch.
A buddy of mine pulled a 4.5 pounder through the ice 3 years ago in a local lake, man, public lake.
And that right there is why it won't be as big as bass.
Yeah. But, I mean, can you imagine pulling up a 4.5 pound crappie on 2 pound ice rod gear? That would still be a wild rush, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about crappie. I like ultralight fishing. I love the sensitivity of it. I love the catching a nice bluegill and it's still putting up a good fight, and you can just go out and just yank lips all day long, man. I love it.
That's why I love bass fishing.
What's that?
That's take why that I love bass fishing. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
don't.
saying,
Exactly
Yeah,
what
like
you're
that
saying.
around
same rod
here.
and catch a bass on it and see how that feels for you.
Yeah, you catch now up here. Like I like the cat, but if I want to go after something like big, and Damon can. This is where I'll bring Damon into this. Is the catfish. Big catfish
Mm-hmm.
up here. We have really good catfishing up here in Ohio, but not as good as where Damon's at down in South Carolina. Damon, what is the king fishing of? I'll let you speak for North Carolina on this matter too. What's the number one fish or people are targeting these days in North South Carolina?
Hey, it's right now in this time. It's you still got the flatfish. People's catching the flatfish right now, but I mean, it's still when it comes down to it, it's all about them catfish down here in the south. So I mean, they growing big. They growing big and wide down here. So
Now, is it just blues, or are you guys still like? Are you guys got like them 100-pound flatties down there too? Flathead, shovel head.
the flatheads get huge down here.
Okay, yeah, because
I
the
mean, they're
blues are just now
in
starting to
in
work their way up.
in the Santee lake. They said some divers went down by the dam and said there was huge fish down there, and they said they wouldn't even dive back in there. They were
Yeah,
so
We
that's
have
deep.
that. They said that same story about Don Pedro up here when
No,
they went to
really.
work on the dam.
there. I
Yeah,
think
some guy
every
went down
okay.
to weld on it, came back
I
up and said,
think
"You can find someone else, dude. I'm out."
I think we've all heard that story of every fishing hole on every
Yeah.
bridge because there's 3 bridges in Coshocton down here that I heard that same thing.
The thing
They
is,
had to find
the
different diving teams because they were like, "There's fish that could eat me in
That's
one
awesome.
bite. I ain't going back down there."
I guess that's the fishing story that just keeps on giving. Then
right, but I
Right.
think there's two things with that. If
That
you're
is
in the
true.
water
I
and
mean,
you
no,
see
I'm
some,
no, it's just funny. I
yeah, it
believe it
is.
though.
That's
I
hilarious.
and you know what? Here's the thing. They're probably all right.
Well, look, here's the thing. If you're in the water and you see something that's even like half your size, it's gonna look so massive because you're in their world. Like you're so out of your. Like I went scuba diving, and this guy he showed us a 6 foot nurse shark. Now they can't do anything. They can't bite you, whatever. But being next to a fish that was my size, that I
Mhm.
knew was a named shark, like sharks in the name, was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Probably one of them, at least. It was terrifying.
It
So I mean, I could imagine. And catfish, like, I
well,
mean,
and
there
here's
are
the
catfish in the world that are big enough to eat humans.
oh,
I,
yeah,
I
look at
don't
the
know about in
whales
the
catfish.
U.S. I don't think so. But
Like the whale like, there's,
the
like, the whales
whales
cat
catfish, right?
yeah, they're,
Mhm.
like,
The
3, 4,
goonch,
500 pounds.
the goonch catfish in India. Now they put bodies into the river for them. That's how they
The
do their
gooch.
burial ceremony. So the goonch catfish is like, yeah, the humans in the water, cool food.
Hmm.
So nothing, and they're huge, dude. They are
Yeah, I mean,
huge.
there's gotta be flatties, and like Damon are saying, there's gotta be flatties and blues down there big enough that could at least make a run at you. Maybe not us guys, but maybe if, like, we were, on the smaller side.
Well, no,
Oh,
the
like
state
Big
the
Ed
state
size.
record.
Big Ed's smaller.
Yeah,
Big Ed,
the
you're
state
done.
record catfish
Yeah,
here is
catfish
130
is
something
gobbling
pounds.
Big Ed up first. I mean, that's a fact.
Right.
What's
Yeah,
that, Damon?
130 pounds.
Yeah, I said the state record here is 136 pounds. So
And that's just what's been caught
right,
on a rod and reel. I mean, you can't
right.
count jug lines and trout lines on that.
Right.
Well,
And the other thing is
in
is
theory.
guys have guys have proved it would take about like a 30-40 pound fish if you were wrapped up with it or like tied to it or whatever, it'll drown you
Oh,
because
yeah.
they'll go down and hold like 30-pound free weight and try and swim out from the bottom, or whatever. So like that whole noodling bullshit. I mean, you get held
Yeah,
on by
Big
a
Ed.
30-pound fish, you ain't coming to the top.
Where are you at on
What?
this?
What?
Are you Big Ed, you noodling anytime soon?
No, no,
You say quick now.
I'll let Hannah keep that all to herself.
So Hannah,
She likes doing that stuff down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
no
tough I
way.
am.
You know,
Congratulations. You are tougher than me.
you can say whatever. California, the state record here is like 113 pounds, right? So
Mhm.
can you imagine trying to reach into one of those holes and that thing just grabs on you? It's like you may as well just grab an alligator, right?
Right.
And that's what I think about. I had a really good friend who he lived in Kansas for a long time, and he goes, we go out there and you put your hand in a hole. It's like, okay, there's also snapping turtles who use those holes, water moccasins who use those holes. Catfish
Well,
is the one you're hoping you get, right?
yeah,
Right.
because they say like all the old timers are like, oh,
I'm good with it.
snappers go in head first. You grab the tail. I'm like, but what if it doesn't?
Yeah.
What
you're
if he?
saying
Yeah,
100% of the time it hasn't? Like, get out of
No.
here, man.
yeah.
Like,
There's
Yeah.
no way, dude. I am not gambling on those
I gotta
odds.
tell you, I love Southern guys. I love the accent. I like the whole mentality. But I gotta tell you, sometimes when it comes to, I don't know, jump in the water, put your hand in a hole. No.
Right. No.
I'm out.
Yeah.
or
You
them
do it.
crazy, they'll like smack a gator with like a damn frying pan when it charges them
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, get on out of here. Wha-bam, wha-bam.
Exactly.
Like, oh, it's
Gators
coming
can
after
run
my
like 35
Don't worry,
miles an
it'll
hour,
be
dude.
fine.
Oh,
It'll be
dude.
fine.
Right.
crazy, man.
You go over there and you hit in that hole over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you put
Nope.
it on a crack. Then you put it on
I'll
the crack.
watch from the shore. I'll watch from the shore. You guys can show me how it's done.
Damon, what you got for Big Ed, man?
So before you got into, all the doing, the hosting and everything, was you ever, was you on the tours and stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, I fished for, oh gosh, I don't even know how long at this point. Probably somewhere close to 15 years, 20 years on tours. Had my run, kind of what I would say. But at the same time, it's like at some point in your life, you realize it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be that next Kevin Van Dam. And
Right.
I don't want to say like the dream is gone, but you turn and you face a different direction and go, you know what? I really like doing this stuff. And the day that they asked me up on that stage, they put a mic in my hand. I got news for you, man. It was like being home. It was like, oh, wow. I enjoy. You put a mic in my hand, put me on the stage, put me in front of 50,000 people. I'm on, dude. I'm happy about it.
Let's go.
It was absolutely a blast. Yes, I fished the tournaments. Yes, I understand what's going on out there. Yes, I understand what it'd like to be out there for 8, 10, hours fishing in heat and rain and snow and wind and cold and nasty, all to catch a little green fish to come up and go, man, I just spent $40,000 to do this year and I made 250. There are good years, there are bad years. I think my best year was like $10 or $15,000 I made. That's about it. But I understand what these guys are going through out there. I love it. I got nothing but respect for a guy that gets up at 3:00 in the morning, hops in his rig, drives out to a lake in the middle of nowhere, plops that thing in the water and says, I'm going to go try to beat everyone out here by dropping a bunch of money down and saying, come get it, because I'm here to do this, right? I've been there. I've tried that. It didn't work out for me. I still love fishing. I still have a passion like no other for fishing. I just understand that my role has been pushed to the mic, and I really enjoy that. I love coming on and talking with guys like you. I really love going up there and talking, getting the crowds going at the stadium when I'm out there on that stage, getting the people watching on YouTube jacked up, getting them coming up, like, man, yeah, this is awesome. I love to get the crowd into it. I love doing this job that I've been given the chance to do. And it's been amazing. So, I mean, there's some great things coming up, and I hope more crowds come out. You're in California, what the crowds can be. They can be 11 people, 12 people, right? But I want to see, our Almanor coming up, tournament coming up. We've got a great chance. It's getting close to summer. There's going to be some big people up there. They've got Lake Almanor is just gorgeous. Like it's beautiful, feet, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Great golfing around the area. Great, all the college people come up. There's a lot of good scenery in the area, and it can be a great event. And we're gonna have like a meet and greet up there, so you can meet the anglers. And I think that's one of the things
that's cool.
This sport right here. You don't get a lot of chances where you're gonna go meet Travis Kelce, Jake Mahomes, all those guys. They're pretty much off limits. You don't get a lot of chances to do that. Kevin Van Dam, you'll see him walking down the streets. Ski Reese, all these guys, these anglers, you can come out and meet them.
Yeah.
BAM is giving you an opportunity to go to Almanor. You want to meet some of the top anglers in the country. Our Pro Tour has some of the best. Ishman Rose that will be up there.
Yes.
There are guys, that you've heard about, about. They're still fishing in California, So
I love Ish's story, man. Ish is like one of my favorite stories.
yeah, there's a lot of people that do. It's a great story.
Yeah, he was like, he's from Compton, isn't he? He was like from like, I know he's from like inner city, but he just like fished like the canals and waterways as a kid. Like he just like lived and fishing, and then he just ended up becoming a pro bass fisherman, and then that was his ticket out of the projects. Man, it's a really cool story. Really cool story. Ish Monroe. I remember
Yeah.
reading they did a big feature on him in North American Fishing Club. You know, back in those days. Remember the NAFC? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I don't
know either.
You guys remember NAFC? Damon, do you remember North American Fishing Club?
My dad was there.
I remember the club. Yeah, I don't know if it's still. I know.
Well,
I remember you used to always get the
magazine,
sticker.
and
You get a sticker and like a hook or something every time.
Yeah,
you
it was like a
little
holographic
triangle.
hook. But
Yeah.
every once in a while, you would like they would have like a drawing, like you could win, like you could test certain product. You could be like a product tester or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
pretty
remember. Yeah,
much.
you got like a pack of like circle hooks or snell hooks or some shit.
Pretty much
Yeah,
the lucky
pretty much.
tackle boxes and all that kind of stuff wiped all that out because you could try everything for $15.
Well,
Yeah.
but they had a magazine though too that I
Oh
actually
yeah, I
really
know.
enjoyed.
It was like we
I
had
actually,
skateboard.
yeah,
I had
was
a
a
skateboard
magazine
and
reader.
snowboard magazine
Yeah.
subscriber
Well,
too. Like
that's kind of one of the nicest things about us right now is that we are on that line. You have Bass Angler magazine is everywhere. You can pick it up. Most stores carry it. It's all over the country, and it's one of those things that everybody that wins, everybody that's on these tours, they're all featured in this thing. So it's not like we're doing this anonymously. You can find out about this tour all over the country, man. If you want to watch, you want to be a part of it, it's easy. Pick up a magazine. Be part of it. It's not that hard. Right. That's probably one of the biggest things. And I think, like you said, North American Fishing, I remember when I was a kid, you would get cream worms, right? You'd go buy cream worms, and if you bought 5 packs of them, you would send in the backs of them, and you would get a free T-shirt, or you would get something.
Yeah.
All that stuff has come so far over the years, and it's just morphed, and you just watch it. I think it's great that when you see a sport like this, you see bass fishing, you see any of these fishing organizations that come up. It's just great to see how much love and passion there is for the outdoors still here. We're not all sitting behind a computer. Now we're all sitting behind a computer right now talking about fishing, but
we already did our outdoors earlier.
Exactly. We're not, you were just out doing your stuff. You're talking about doing some hunting shows, doing some fishing shows, doing some, morel hunting, there's all kinds of stuff out there that we do.
Crushed them.
Just hiking, snow skiing, and I know there's some of us from California here. So, the California, that's been that thing is that's what we get. I can go right now. I can leave my house right now. 2 hours later, I can be in the snow. I can be right there. 2 more hours the other way, I can be down at the ocean.
Exactly.
I wish everybody could
100%.
I wish everybody could see Big Ed's backyard. It's like literally like redwoods. He's like literally in like these. Like there's these massive trees. He's at the top of the mountain. Like like a windstorm comes, he's like actually concerned because he realizes it might take him like 3 days to chop up one tree.
Actually, I just took those trees down. They're in my backyard. They were leaning over my house after all those storms we had, and we had them all taken down. And so now don't get me wrong. I still live way up in the pines, but it's nice. But it's it's one of those things. I got a tractor coming tomorrow to get rid of those trees. I'll be on a tractor tomorrow.
Man, I really like back in the day when you used to be in your damn hot tub shirtless, man. You had them big old pines in the background every story.
You gotta pull it out sometimes, show them all, guns out, brah.
That's right. Easy. You can make the club when you're sitting in that tub. That's for sure. Hey, we are going to take our commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes, and we will be right back in about 3 to 4 minutes. We're going to wrap up here with Big Ed. We're going to get him out of here at the top of the hour, so stay tuned. Check out who our sponsors are here, and we'll be right back to finish this up with Big Ed. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned. All right, we're mid-show, but it's time for us to have a beer break. Some of us don't have a fridge by our fingertips during this thing, so drink a garage beer, and we'll be right back after this message.
Oh, about 2.5.
I've learned in one thing in this world we live in: don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you're nuts, bro. Hey, coming from dirty Jersey, who doesn't know if he's supposed to eat a glizzy, a soft pretzel, or a tailor-made pork roll thing. I think I did
okay,
both.
whatever.
You see how I did a tailor-made pork roll? Oh,
yeah.
boy,
So
upset
I'm
everybody.
okay with Jersey fighting over what they want to call baloney. That's fine. But glizzy, bro, that's just, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's a hot dog. It's fucking
in
hot
water
dog.
though. You gotta put it in the hot. You gotta put it in the water though.
Costco does it in water. They still call them hot dogs, bro.
I like the glizzies better. I've been recently acclimated to the glizzy, and I like personally, like, cause I'm like a Izzy, like anytime I put Izzy on something, man, like I'm all in. So I don't want a hot dog. Hot dog's boring. Like, give me one of them glizzies.
The MST Sauce Company out of Tiffin, Ohio. Also, award-winning dry rub. Absolutely crushed it at the recent NBBQA, especially with the dry rub here and some of the other amazing sauce flavors. I got some pork nuggets here. I got some creamy garlic parm here I'm going to try out, as well as some of the other flavors here. I got some of my favorites. You know, this is the Griff sauce. It also has it in potato chips. The hot garlic parm is also a new one. We have the dry rub ranch and even a limited eclipse. You can watch the total eclipse up in Tiffin, Ohio on April 8th, and they have a nice cool bottle to commemorate that. And another one that performed really well at MBBQA, the Garcasian. But let's try the creamy garlic parmesan. Hope the show doesn't suck, but cheers. Back to the show.
I must say, Damon, you have the commercial breakdown to a freaking science. It gets better every week, man. Thank you.
That was back when I wasn't on the glizzy train. That was
so
you look
So I started to throw both of them last week because last commercial last week.
It was
had Booyah saying, and everybody was hyping up the glizzy, and I started to throw your bash in right behind, it, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna separate it.
Yeah, well, actually, I personally love. I personally love when we get to expose John Zena's reverse take.
It grew on me. Being around you clowns, it grew on me.
We are influencers.
Now you want to take jabs. Now you want to take jabs. Whatever.
Yep.
Notice you guys haven't talked much shit about California. Now we got Big Ed in the house. So
he's not really in California. He's up in the mountains in northern. It's so Republican up there.
Midwest. Excuse me. Sorry, they don't have a power plant up in the pines that I can work at. All right, my bad.
I'm sorry too, Jones.
What do you mean we don't have a power plant up here? We got a power plant up here.
No.
Yep.
There are power plants. Yes. There are.
All right. He's in the Central Valley. He's not even as bad. He's not like he's in LA or anything like that.
Yeah, or the Bay Area. Dude. Like I live in farmland. It's not bad here.
Nah.
Hi, Sean.
It's okay.
Welcome,
I mean,
nobody trust me. Trust me. My dream life is where Big Ed lives. Know that. That's why I run away up there every year.
Here's the thing. Before Johnsy ever came around, I actually had a deal that if I ever went out to California, it would be go to Big Ed because he actually made it. And I saw like his backyard and like he was up in the mountains, like trout fishing and stuff. And I was like, man, that sounds really, really cool. And what's funny is they were actually just talking about that golden trout, the native golden brook trout in the Sierra Mountains. It's between 14 and 22,000 feet elevation. You find it at, but like the biggest you can find is like
9. Yeah, you got to be somewhere around 9,000 feet. You don't have to be 23,000 is like that's unheard of. But between 9 and 12, right in there, you're
way up there.
But they're up there. Yeah,
I was going off what I thought I heard, but sometimes that's way off.
Have you seen the lightning trout they bred here?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're I think
actually a lake right down by you, Jonesy.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
releasing a bunch of trout
What's
here
the name of it?
into.
Why can't I think of the name of it right now?
They're having a
it's,
local trout derby.
Comanche. It's not Comanche. It's Amador.
Amador, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Amador has it.
Because right when you're coming up the lake, you pass the hatchery right in front of it as you make the loop up over the dam and go, yeah. Amador,
Yeah, they've
that's
got those big. I mean, they're big. They're like
they're big, yeah.
to 8 pounds is probably small.
Right.
8 to 20 pounds, 8 to 15 pounds, something like that. So I know, Tony, you're talking about you want to come out and you want to do some fishing.
Yeah.
I put the invite. I don't even know how many times now.
Ooh, calling them out.
My cinnamon come out there.
Let's count all the big, massive adventures Tony's been on in the last couple of years. I'll wait. Yeah, like I went to all these places and haven't went to Big Ed's.
Yeah,
Dude,
we had
Ed,
David and
hey,
I
I
had.
don't know if you remember Big Ed. There was this
I
thing
had to
called
fly to
Snowbid
Ohio
that
to see him.
happened, and we had 2 schmildren. I mean,
Yeah.
vacations.
I'll tell you
don't
what,
happen.
Johnsy, you come up. We'll put on a big barbecue, dude. I love barbecue. I love putting that stuff out there, man. Smoking and
Big Ed's
barbecuing.
barbecue.
We do that. Maybe if we do that, we can get these 2 guys. I don't know how these work.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a couple of years.
We can get them to show up.
How do you feel about a Dude Network
not mad
meetup
at
in the mountains in the Sierras?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, bass anglers can pay for us to get up there. We're making it happen.
There we go.
Oh,
Bam.
this guy.
Bam.
This guy.
Come on, Bam. Let's get. We just need some air. Let's get us some airfare.
Take over.
Come on. Let's get
I
us.
think my screen locked. Hey, I'm not the one that pays them bills, but I'll tell you what. You tell me what it costs, and I will really think hard about it.
Well,
oh man.
I will definitely pay for the gas that it takes for him to get up here.
Yeah.
That's easy,
John,
man.
I'll pay
Now,
for the
mind
gas.
you,
for John
think
to get
that's
up there.
cheap.
I'm about to
but it's
say,
not,
we'll pay for the gas.
We'll send Johnsy
that's
as our
probably half of
recon.
Tony's plane ticket out here, by the way, folks.
Right?
It's like
Johnsy can do a recon. Johnsy can be a
now.
recon guy.
I'm thinking we have a big barbecue get together. I'm in. I got
All right.
plenty of room. I got a yard.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything I don't want to hear.
I still got to figure out how to get to Massachusetts this summer
Isn't that right?
because somebody's getting married.
Damon?
No. I'm already done that.
No, I think we're all three. There's only one of us in here that isn't happily ever after. I mean, you already are. You just make it official. Congratulations, Big Ed, on that one too. It's been a fun watching the whole journey. You 2 love birds. When is the big day again?
September 28th. Yeah.
Oh shit! So it's the fall. I thought it was summer.
No, it's fall.
Hi, Chris.
It gives you just a little extra time in there.
Actually, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, September 28th. That actually might be. Yeah, because that's. Ooh. You might be able to. I have not ruled it out. Like, we have been trying to figure out how to make it happen. So, yeah, definitely trying to make it happen.
Oh,
I want to.
There
we go. Oh,
you can't get away.
Oh, I know. She's sitting in the other room and she's texting sending texts on this show. That's awesome, right? How many of them are even watching out there? How many ladies are out there watching all these bearded guys right now doing this thing?
Millions.
Actually, you'd be surprised.
Millions.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. The dudettes love us.
Facts.
So
hey, I got some bass questions here.
Yeah, there you go.
Got on here.
Yeah. We should probably talk bass fishing at some extent.
You have access to the deltas because the deltas here are insanely good fishing.
Oh,
lake versus delta. What do you like? Give us the rundown. What's your favorite? The differences. Blah blah blah.
I will say this
on this too.
I will say this. If it is January, February, March, and probably early April, I'm going to a lake. If it's mid-April, May, June, July, and even into August, give me the Delta. That thing,
Right.
the water temperature, when it's so cold, it's a struggle on the Delta. It becomes very hard. There's so much water running. Just the amount of mud going down and everything, it makes it very tough fishing. And if you're one of the top anglers in the country, you can, our owner is one of the top anglers, and that is his home water. And I don't see him out there a lot in those colder, dirty, muddy water months. You get him out here, like I said, somewhere in mid-April. You start that
summertime.
You get that spawn off. You get April, May, June. Oh yeah, that Delta gets on. You pull that pull that frog out, pull that spinnerbait, chatterbait out there, do a lot of flipping. Then you get in the heart of the summer. You get into that punching where you've got 80 pounds, big 1 ounce weights. You're punching through the nastiest stuff, and boom, 6-pounder on there. Oh my God, it's just it's way too much fun. The Delta is a place to just, you can fall in love with it, and you can, be out there, spend your time. But it is one of those. It's a tidal body of water. You got to deal with the tide. You got to deal with the current. And you got to deal with trying to find the right place at the right time for those fish to set up. It is tough. It is.
You
get to lakes early in the season like that, and absolutely. I mean, the water's stable. You've got, even if it's cold, you don't have to deal with the. You don't have to deal with the tide. You don't have to deal with so much other things. So you get out there and you can work a bank. You can find where they're set up. You can get those, position, turn on some of your electronics, your forward facing sonars and that thing. You can find those schools of bass and you can hunt them. It's just a little tougher on the Delta, but that's why people make their name on the Delta, on Clear. You look at Aaron Martins, you look at Skeet Reese, you look at Ishman Rowe, all these guys who are legends, Cody Meyer, just some of the legends of California, and there's plenty more. I'm not even saying right now, but it's like
there's some guy called Big Ed that's a big legend.
I am nowhere near those guys' level when it comes to fishing. They have done this at a level for so long. I am a passionate angler, and I love to do it. And I've fished against those guys, and I have one win against like 2 of them, and that's it.
Let's go.
I'm never going to say that I'm better than them by any stretch.
One time.
That's it. I have that. That's what I have. I've got that one. It's like, hey, you know what? In this life, you hold on to that one sometimes.
Right.
And that's it. And I'm okay with that. But it's one of those things. It's like, no, am I at their level of fishing prowess? Absolutely not. 100%. They get to do it for a living, and I'm just proud that they get to walk across my stage. They get to come up there. They get to listen to what I do, because they may be really good at fishing, but they can't always do what I do. So, everybody in this world has our own little niche.
We're not too far on the same. We're not too far, away from each other here in this one, because we're not going to be basketball players, but we'd like to interview them. I mean, who doesn't want to interview them? I mean,
I always wanted to be a rock star, obviously not in the cards, so let's interview some musicians.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've had some musicians on here that we would never, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so, I mean, to me, it's always, I've always loved the honor to interview people that have been, in areas of what you would love to do as a kid, but you didn't, but you're still very involved at a high level. And that's still pretty badass. And I think, Ed, I mean, you're still involved at a really high level with some really high level stuff with some high level fishermen. I mean, you're still in the 1%, man. You just found your own different niche. I mean, there's no shame in that. That's a fact.
No, I have, like I said, I absolutely love what I do. Like you said, getting to, it's not that you're living vicariously through them or anything like that, but I've watched these guys for so long now. They've come up in this sport. And I always say, I've been a fan. I've been the person who's standing on the stage out there or out in the crowd. I've watched them rock across the stage. We've got, guys like, I will say this. I did a podcast not that long ago with a gentleman named Laker Howell. Wonderful guy. He's from the South. His dad is Randy Howell. I was watching him on TV, and this is always, I love this story because to me, it's just, it explains how far I've come in this sport. He's sitting up there and he's fishing on the TV. He's fishing on TV. I lean over, I grab my phone, I pick it up, I call his dad and said, "Hey, give me his information. I want him on the show." Boom. No problem, Ed. I'll get that to you. Next week, Laker gets off the water and he calls me up and it's like he's on the show and I interviewed him on the show. That right there just shows that, you know what? I've made some really good friends in this sport. I've made some really good contacts in this sport, and I have a lot of respect for all of the anglers out there because I know what it takes to go through it. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, our owner, Mark Lassane, our owner, is an angler. So having that kind of respect, having that knowledge of all of this, you have to have that and come into this. I give these guys so much credit for what they do. If you watch football players, if you watch basketball players, if you played at that level, whether it be collegiate or if you even coming up just as a kid trying to make it into those levels, you understand just a little bit about it. Like, hey, you know what? These guys put in a lot of work to be as good as they are. They're not up there. You can't fake any sports. I don't care which one it is. You can't fake it. You're either good or you're not. You can either hit a curveball or you can't. You can either.
I always just tell people I fake it being good. I'm like, yeah, I just prefer to suck. I just fake it.
Right, and that's the point, though, right? You put a mic. Hey, Tony, you put a mic in my hand, and it's like I can't fake it. I got to be up there in front of all these people. I got to say what I need to say, and I need to know these anglers. And I'm just getting to learn these anglers. I mean, most of them, are guys that I will make relationships, and we will have that, and we will go forward, and we will have this great thing. But it's one of those. We all start at the bottom, right? So yeah.
For sure.
Coming on shows, I love watching, this show. I've been watching it for a while now, Tony, and then the things you guys have done, the cooking shows, all of it is like, oh man. I mean, I wish, it was always fun in games and doing things, but we got to work sometimes.
Well, we've both come a long way since we first met Big Ed, and
God, 100%.
I mean, you knew me at the time when I knew I wanted it. I was very inquisitive. I was always asking, Big Ed, like YouTube scheduling. I remember we talked about scheduling. You were the one that was originally I talked to about the importance of scheduling and consistency of being at the same time every week, every night. And here we are every Friday, every Sunday, 9:00. So Ed's like at early influence, but
now,
yeah, man, like, you weren't anywhere close to BAM at the time. And then, I wasn't the Dude Network at the time, and here we are 3 years later, dude. Congrats to you, dude. It's
hey, and to you,
awesome.
And I watched this, like you said, it was a long time ago, 3-4 years ago now. So it's been that deal, and it's
peak COVID, man.
See that you absolutely decided that this is what you were going to do. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew how you were going to get there. Well, you didn't know how you were going to get there, but you were going to try hard anyways. And you started talking to these guys, and you were like, you know what? This is a thing. I can make this work. And you've got the great support system behind you. And that, that's right there is just paramount. People don't realize that, we don't just do this by ourselves. There is a support system behind you. There's a support system behind me. And if I didn't have it, trust me, I couldn't even remember what I'm supposed to do tomorrow.
These two down here below me have elevated this shit to a level that I never knew existed in my brain, so like, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think this is absolutely fun. This is a part that I think we love doing. For me, the BAM Pod has been one of those things that I love getting on and interviewing these guys. I love talking to these guys. I think it's one of my highlights of my week, my whatever, because it's absolutely fun. But getting up on that stage and weighing fish and showing off to the world, people that when I started this, I was up there going, and the millions watching at home, and I got reprimanded for that a little bit about, we don't have millions, and it's like, who cares?
At some point,
personally,
millions.
Hey, eventually there should be millions watching, and when they do, I'm just ahead of the game.
Hey,
But
how about you switch
right.
it up into the millions of you that could be watching at home?
there you go. It's the millions of you that should be watching at home.
There it
Yes.
is. There it
That's
is.
it.
Yes, even better.
But it's one of those things that, this is a sport that I have a great passion for. I love it. It's been a part of my life for so long now. I've started at the very bottom and I've worked my way up as far as I am right now. And one of these days I hope to be sitting next to, you've talked about guys like Tommy Sanders and some, Fishburne and all these guys who I've watched and loved and seen for all these years. And I'm glad that one of these days I hope that I will be in the conversation of people that were up here on that stage and that entertain the crowds, gets them going, gets it fired up. And hopefully these anglers, understand that that's what I'm trying to do is
You're not already? Then why the hell are you on here?
before them, doing this, so I'm doing all this work so that I can make them stand out in a crowd. And if I stand out in a crowd, that's one thing, but I've always done that. So.
Yeah. Last question here for you, Big Ed. Before we let you go here to get back to that beautiful fiance of yours. Shout out Fifi. Fiance. I don't know his name, Fifi. That's probably offensive. Shouldn't have done that. But what's the future hold for Bam? Because everyone's definitely asleep. But I want to emphasize that. What's the future for not only Bam, but Big Ed?
So the future for BAM is nothing but up, man. I mean, we are behind trying to make this into one of the best tours on the West Coast. We want to absolutely rival FLW and Bassmaster on the East Coast. We want to be the West Coast people. And when you look out here, we have the only thing that really is different out here is that the travel time is a little bit more. You can't go. California in itself
is big.
It is the West Coast. California is the West Coast, and the lakes that are here. And you've got Oregon, you've got Washington, you've got Arizona, you've got Colorado's still in there. You've got Idaho. There's so many waterways.
Idaho.
Country. The West is so big, and that's the only thing that we really have going against us is the fact that it is such a large area to cover, and the amount of tours that we have to do. I think we have some plans. I think Mark has some plans in the future of dividing it up maybe a little bit to where there's a something here, something there, and you join it and you be a part of it. But right now it's about putting down a foundation, putting some roots in the ground, and making this a tour that people can be very proud to be a part of, being very proud to, come out and fish and hopefully make a living doing what they love to do and not having to travel all across the country to do it. As for me, I don't really know where I want to go all the way. I would love to be picked up and seen that this is something that this guy's got a passion for. This is something that he does well, and we'd love to see that all over the place. I would love to be in front of 40, 50,000 people, pumping that crowd up, getting it going, saying, hey, let's weigh some fish. Let's do some stuff. I love this sport. I love this industry. And if we can grow, bam, into something that big, I'll be dang proud of doing it. So, yeah.
Well, you should first off be proud of what you've already accomplished. And I hope you are, because I'm proud of you for what you've done so far. Not that you need my seal of approval, because
that's all right. I'll still take it.
But yeah, it's still out there for you to commandeer.
One last thing, roll out the red carpet for you. Where can everybody find you? All your social media pages where they can follow along with Big Ed.
You can find Big Ed Fishing on just about anything. I will tell you the OnlyFans program is $15. It's the best package. No, just kidding.
It includes big toes, but not the little toes. That's
that big old bass he's got.
If you want to see little piggy go all the way home, that's the plus package.
You can find me at Big Ed Fishing pretty much on every social platform, and you can find from YouTube, Instagram, everything out there, Facebook, even TikTok. Big Ed Fishing. as far as BAM, it's the BAMtrail.com, and it's also the BAM Pod, and we're on every other Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I am interviewing some of the best top pros in the country. The guy that just won the first pro tour down in Yuma, Arizona, was Colby Pearson, and he'll be up next. He'll be next Wednesday. You can catch him somewhere around 9 a.m. in the morning is when I normally do it every other Wednesday. So yeah.
And also, shout out. Yeah, you will see Big Ed also on Kristen Marie Fishing.
Yeah, apparently Kristen Marie Fishing sitting out here watching on the couch out there. She's like, hey, don't forget to plug me in there. So, but yeah, I
You're
will.
welcome. She gets
I
to
will,
crawl in
because
bed with a celebrity on like a
I'll
top
tell you
10.
what, like I said, this is not run by itself and by any stretch of the imagination. So, Yuma Canal.
You're welcome, by the way, Ed. You know, the check, you can send it in the mail for them plane tickets, because thanks to us, she gets to share the couch with a celebrity tonight, because this is a top 10% podcast in the world.
Hey, you know what? I am very proud that you've done what you've done, Tony. I really am. You two guys down there. Thank you for putting the effort together to get him where he's at too. You know, Damon and Johnsy, you guys are pushing him and making him do what he does is great. He is one of the, when I met him, 3 or 4 years ago, we clicked right off the bat. It was just one of those things, and I've got much respect for him. Tony is one of those guys that, you know, we've drinking the whiskey together. We've definitely had our fun with a lot of different stuff. We've had the pool TikToks. We've had the hot tubs. We've had some fun out there, right?
We've had some wild ones.
Hey, we're still out here. We're still doing stuff we absolutely love to do. I can't wait to see what your future for all of you guys is. And as far as being on here, man, I can't tell you enough how much I really appreciate it. And I'll let her know that she's with a celebrity, because trust me, I always do.
Yeah.
Hey, bam.
Bam.
All right, dudes and dudettes. The one, the
Thank
only.
you, Big Ed. Thank you.
Myth, the legend. Thank you so much, Big Ed. Let's go.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Big Ed. We'll see you around, man. Stay in touch and good luck.
Absolutely. I will somehow figure out how to get you out there September, if nothing else. I gotta lock these big arms around somebody, you know.
No, it's not us.
And if you bring Alyssa, it'll be her. But if you just show up,
the main thing, it's just we have these two things
man.
called children that require pretty constant care. So we got to find someone to fall on the sword there. So,
dude, there's a pond right where we're getting married. You bring an inflatable, you throw them on it, you push them out to the middle. It'll take them a while to get back to the side.
Oh, we're allowed to bring them. It's on. All right. Well, hey, we'll see you in September.
All right.
All right, Big Ed. Oh man, absolutely love that guy. So here's the real story of how I met that guy. Back in TikTok, you could like pick like random, like you could like shuffle to find like a random creator to do a joint live with. And like I did it. Now this is back. I was just able to become live on TikTok, and I was going after it. And sure enough, man, like Big Ed was one of the ones that actually accepted it. And like, and so shout out to the one night that I just decided to hit up 50 random creators on TikTok live to do a live, and he was one of them that said, yeah. He was in his hot tub shirtless with all the big pine trees in the background. That was the first image I ever had of Big Ed. So, that was awesome though, man. I am so happy for him. He is just absolutely crushing it. That was fun for us,
dude.
Right?
I'm so stoked that's happening. Like he's trying to really put something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, bass fishing. That was the first thing I ever did for social media. Was me and all my buddies started these fishing crews everywhere, and we would do nonstop bass fishing. And now, listen, when he's talking about these guys, like he has respect for them because he knows what it takes. Hats off, dude. I couldn't even keep up fishing trying to put together an Instagram account. It's to be out you have to. It's. I'm not saying you're getting your bones crushed or this or that, but it is feet to the pavement, dude, hustling and going and learning waterways and learning spawning habits and where they go, times a day. It's fun, man. And there's nothing like a bass when they bend that. Pop, oh,
Like, bass are fun. I grew up farm pond fishing where you could literally go catch, like, 40, 50 bass in a day, and then I lost all the good farm pond access I had, so I had to go back to fishing public lakes where you might
And
catch,
yeah,
like, 4 or 5 a day. And homie
well,
ain't about that life where I can sit there in a boat for 6 hours and maybe catch 2 fish. Like, give me a big school of crappie, give me some catfish, like, just like get me on a school of big crappie, and I am the happiest dude on this planet. I am telling you, I am that happy.
right. See,
You can't put me on a higher cloud of euphoria than me just smashing big crappie all day. Just whip, whip,
See, like
whip.
that's how it was for me bass fishing on the Delta. That's why I asked him the question about lake versus Delta, because I fish the Delta all the time with my buddies coming up and really hard fishing. And then the last buddy I fished a lot with was all lake, and I caught some good fish on lake fishing. But I mean, there were days I went out with my buddy out on the boat on the Delta, and I would just stop. I would just put my pole down, and I'm like, I'm done. My arms are tired from catching fish, literally
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
smoking them
you
like
poor
nothing.
bastard.
I'm not talking like huge, massive. I'm talking 1-2 pounds, just really cool rippers, 3 pounds, whatever, having fun. And then days you go out there and you like I think Eduardo said it in the beginning, you catch a sunburn, a buzz, maybe a fish or two, and but still, man, fishing's one of those things. Like,
It's just still the thrill of knowing you can cast a artificial or a hook and
right,
trick something to bite it,
right.
and you're like,
It's
"Oh my
just yeah,
god." Like, the
I
odds
did
of
it.
you, like, throwing a hook in front of a fish's mouth in a big body of water and catching something is actually pretty rare. You can give yourself a good chance, but for someone that wouldn't know anything about anything, that's, like, not easy to do.
It's the same reason that I love waterfowl hunting the most, because you have to set up this decoy presentation that sometimes changes midday. They don't like it.
Nope. Yep.
They don't trust it or whatever.
Yep.
And then you have to call and sound real enough or good that they're like, oh, those are ducks. Okay, cool.
That's right.
And then you got to be good enough to shoot them too. Like, you
Yeah,
have to put all this presentation into fishing and then waterfowl hunting and
and
even
there's
deer hunting.
times
Like,
you get a really nice new shotgun, and you get to that point, and your gun jams up, and you wanna throw that gun in the fucking water because it jammed up on you after you did the calling, the spread, the decoying, the tricking. Then you go, your
Mm.
moment's here. Click, click,
mm,
mother.
Sounds like you've experienced that
Been
firsthand.
there.
dude, yeah,
Apparently I'm alone. Apparently I'm alone.
no,
Apparently.
the first time I shot a Canadian goose, I was on a lake at my buddy's blind, and getting into the blind from the boat, I draw my gun in the water, and I'm like, no, on a lake bed, bro, all that silt. I'm just like, no, 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 no. Get it,
I did that with
take it all apart, clean it out. It's a Remington 870 Wingmaster, bro. Plug them geese, right? Ain't
Yeah,
no thing,
there ain't no stopping that one.
right?
yeah. Um
Yeah, that pew pew will work all day.
But still, you as soon as you see that with any of your pew
Oh
pews,
yeah.
you're like, it's ruined.
No.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
I dropped
Yeah.
my gun in the river the first I remember I did canoe squirrel hunting with Alyssa's, God rest his soul, grandpa. Shout out, Bill.
Canoe? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Like
we went
floating down a
canoe
river?
fishing down. We went floating in a canoe down the
Hell
river
yeah.
for squirrel, and it was something he
Hell
did
yeah.
as a kid. We got to the first spot, and me, instead of just staying sit in the canoe, I'm like, I'm gonna stand up and shoot this thing. Stood up, whoop, gun went in the bottom. Had to lift that thing up out. Man, it was like my Remington 870 that my dad got me in high school. My first pump action shotgun. And I had to dive back down under the water in the riverbed. And here, I thought I was like swimming. Here it was like 3 feet. That's beside the point. But yeah,
That's all
had to
right,
like
dude. I
had to
thought I was gonna
oil that
drown in the
gun. Had
ocean.
to oil that gun for like every day for like 3 weeks to just get that surface rust from coming back. Man, it was
Oof.
it was rough.
Dude, I don't know. I won't even clean it like all season.
Now, for the
I'll
record,
clean it after. It's a machine, bro. It's a machine.
I drained that gun out, and I killed 3 or 4 more. I bagged out and squirrel that day, actually.
Guaranteed.
Because,
Guaranteed.
yeah.
Guaranteed. It's gonna work. It's gonna
Yeah.
work.
Gotta love a Remington 8.
It is still like the most sold ever in history. Pump action.
Now, my ultimate gun collection would be the Remington Wingmaster all gauges
Oh,
pump. I'm
oh,
talking
yeah.
even the 28 gauge. I mean, I want the
Yeah,
410,
all
the
of 'em.
28, the 20, the 16, the 12,
A
10.
10.
There might be some 8s. There might be a
Cannons.
couple 8s.
Yeah.
There might be a couple 8s for like there were 8 gauges, but they're old.
I just don't know what all the Wingmasters, the Remingtons.
I know it goes to 10, 20,
Yep, I know
410,
that.
410, 28. The 28 gauge, not many people know about.
Yeah. Well, they know because they do
That's
the
super
20
collectible.
gauge.
The 28 gauge is the most very expensive out of that. Well, the 410's also pretty desirable because there's not many 410 wings, but there's less 28 gauge though. Because 410, you can't just go to the store right now and buy a brand new 28 gauge. You kind of have to buy an old one, and there's very few.
Right, and
there's very little ammo out there for
and
it.
you can't buy the Wingmaster I have anymore.
Well,
They're
yeah,
all the new. It's like the Wingmaster 870 Express.
yeah.
Or something
You
now, which is
actually
a
buy the
slick
color
one,
of the
but
walnut determines the era, really. Like the darker ones are the 80s.
right.
When you start getting to that lighter, like almost looks like carbon, but super light brown, that's like 90s, 2000s. But yeah, yeah. I used to be big into the
The
swapping
pew pew world.
of,
Yeah.
of the shotguns. Just shotguns. I know a lot about shotguns. Well, we actually have to wrap this up here in a little bit because we have another show to record for Sunday.
Bingo.
So again, everybody, our tape delayed Sunday. I think we will do a giveaway on next week. For all those stuck around, we are going to do a giveaway next Friday. We are still going to do them. Like I said, we're just going to stretch them out a little bit. So next Friday, we are going to be doing, and I tell you what, when we do the giveaway, it's going to be a nice giveaway. We're going to put some thought and effort into it. I think if we dumb it down but make it cooler, like where it's more than just like one item, like we just combine them, I think everybody would be happy with winning like one of like combined things. So anyway, yeah. So stay tuned next Friday. We'll have that, and our guest next Friday. Ooh, exciting! Friend of the show, a big friend of mine, Mario Clancy. Works analytics for the Dallas Mavericks. Recently took the head analytics job for the Dallas Wings of the WNBA, and their first preseason game is coming up against I don't know, like someone we haven't heard of, Caitlin Clark. So we got Kate. We're going to be talking Caitlin Clark in the
Who's
hottest.
that?
We're talking one of the hottest sports topics right here on the Dudette / Dude Network. But with Samario Clancy, real excited for him. The guy's been working so freaking hard for this opportunity, and he was in the war room on draft night. So we get a really cool professional sports point of view next week. So yeah, really excited about this. Not many people can bring this stuff to you, so we're glad we can bring it to you here on TDN. Johnsy, Damon, what else you guys got before we wrap this up and send everybody off to Never Neverland?
Oh man, appreciate everybody just joining as always.
Yes,
that's a big
Please
plus.
like, share, follow, bring a friend. Don't forget Sunday night we will have a show for you, and don't forget new shows on Thursday. Killer Eat with Big K,
awesome.
Damon and K have
Shout
put
out
something together,
Big
freaking
K.
magical.
Shout out Big K and shout out Damon. You guys combined. You guys put on a hell of a show last night. Everybody, please go check that out. It's cool. It's a cooking / talk show. I mean, there's no other way to do it. It's very interactive like this, but there is a full recipe that you can learn, get the ingredients, cook along with them in real time. Because Big K, he has creative dishes, but none of them are overly complicated. They're just really smart and fun.
Right,
and I don't mean, I hope that's not a dig because he's very talented for that.
No, absolutely.
But yeah,
No,
we're not
Yeah,
be
it's
tap.
not
We're not
like
gonna,
trying to follow along with Julia Childs on PBS.
yeah, we're not
Right.
doing beef welling. We're not doing
Right,
beef
right.
Wellingtons. We're gonna do like some ultimate like chili dogs with some ingredients that you didn't think were possible and are gonna taste like the best chili dogs you ever had in your life. Last night they did bacon cheddar ranch fries.
chicken.
Everything was done on the flat top. Every single
Boom.
damn thing was done on the flat top. So
Boom. His dishes
yeah,
are realistic.
dishes are realistic. They're all with ingredients you can buy. We're real excited for it. Great,
Yeah, and
great
it, like
collab,
Tony
great
said, from
partnership.
start to
So
finish, you can literally start to finish, follow along at any point and cook his recipes over and learn to cook along with Big K. And
Yep.
Damon's right there as the Sherpa guiding it up the mountain. Let's go.
yep.
Yep.
Damon is
Well
the host.
said. Well said.
Damon is the host with the most, for sure. But hey, everybody, be a friend, tell a friend. We're just grateful to have all of you with us. We seriously can't even begin. Having Big Ed here on the show just makes me realize how far we've come, and it's because of all of you
That
that
was cool.
give us time
That
of
was
day.
Yeah.
cool.
That was really cool. That was a full circle show. My cup overfloweth with gratitude with Big Ed and all of you guys, and thank you guys all so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Let's go.